Hello and welcome to Master Practical Java 9 Development. My name is Imtiaz Ahmad and I'm the instructor for this course. In this lecture, I want to give you a quick overview of the curriculum. So let's get started. In section 1, we're just going to go over the introduction for this course, where I talk about who this course is for and what you can expect to learn from this course. Anyone can take this course. There are no prerequisites. I really like to keep the no student left behind policy in all of my courses. So it doesn't matter where you are in your programming journey. If you want to learn Java programming, this course is for you. In section 2, we talk about setting up the development environment, where I help you set it up on Windows as well as on the Mac operating system. We're going to download and install Java 8, as well as upgrade to Java 9, which is the latest release of Java. We're also going to be configuring the development environment known as Eclipse on both of these systems. Eclipse has become the industry standard as far as development environment goes. It's used in 90% of professional Java development projects, so it's a must-have skill. We're going to cover plenty of topics with regards to Eclipse, and I'm going to show you how it works with Java 8 as well as Java 9. So continuing on, we've got section 3, which is just going to be getting started, where I talk about the very basics of what a computer program is. If you know that already, you can skip right ahead, but in this section, I'm going to show you how to create your first Java program. In section 4, we're going to go over some more basics, where I talk about variables and data types and arrays, as well as basic control flow statements. And after that, we've got methods. Methods are what do all of the work in a Java application. It's a core piece of the programming language, and you're going to learn all there is to know about methods. After that, section 6 is another very important topic, and that's all about objects, object-oriented programming. That's what we're going to learn in this section, where I talk about classes and objects, interfaces and abstract classes. I know I'm going over some terms that you may not be aware of, but don't worry, when you get to that section, all of this is going to be crystal clear. Right now, I'm just giving you the overview. These are also very hot interview topics, so it'll be wise for you to spend enough time learning these concepts, and they're actually going to be used over and over again throughout the course. So this is a real foundation building section, and I'm going to be reinforcing these concepts through exercises, so make sure you complete those exercises. Moving forward, we've got some more loops and working with strings and how to use the Eclipse debugging tool to find errors in your code. So I'm going to show you how to use the Eclipse debugger. Moving on to section 8, we've got a practical project. Right? This is going to tie a lot of the knots together, where you're going to be tested on all of the stuff that you learned so far in this course. This is a comprehensive assignment that you're going to be completing. So the first lecture here is going to go over the requirement, and then the second lecture, I'm going to be walking you through the solution line by line. Definitely do not skip over this section. Take your time with it and work on the solution on your own before watching my solution. Next, we've got file processing and exception handling, another very important topic in Java. And then we're going to get into the collections framework. All right, this is another very hot interview topic, and this starts to get into the more advanced topics that you should be aware of in the Java programming language. We're going to talk about the different kinds of collections, array lists and linked lists, hash sets and linked hash sets, and how to use the comparable interface, hash maps and linked hash maps, and basically how to use the collections framework, where and when to use them. All of that is going to be covered in this section. I'm not going to let you move forward without an assignment, so that's what section 11 is about. We're going to work with practical stock market data, and you're going to get practice applying some of these collections that you learned about in this assignment. So definitely do not skip over this assignment. Practice what you're learning. That's what my motto is, and as long as you're practicing along, by the end of this course, you should feel very comfortable with Java. I like to follow the take once approach, meaning you go through each lecture one by one, completing the assignments, and by the time you're done, you understand everything rather than watching a lecture a bazillion times. So for that, you need to make sure that you're completing these assignments. So section 12, we've got Java generics, which is another very important topic. It's considered an advanced topic, but we're going to get into all those details about what a generic class is and generic methods. And then you're going to be tested on generics in section 13, where you're going to be working on a data analytics processor, okay? The first lecture is going to go over the requirement, and the second lecture is going to be the deliverable, where we're going to walk through the code step by step. And then we get into another hot topic, which is concurrency, also known as multithreading. And this is another great topic for interviews, and it's considered a somewhat advanced topic in Java. I'm going to show you how to start threads and do inter-thread communication and sharing data across threads in a synchronized way. Now, don't get intimidated by some of the terminology that I'm using here. I don't expect you to know it. I'm just giving you an overview. By the time you get to those lectures, I promise you all of this is going to make perfect sense, okay? And then finally, the last lecture talks about thread pools and the executor framework. Following this section, we've got the JDBC API, Java Database Connectivity, where I show you how to connect your Java application to a MySQL database instance. So I'm going to show you how to download and install MySQL, as well as some basic SQL commands so that you can interact with the database. And then I also show you how to use Java code to connect with the database and insert data, delete data, and update data using your Java application. And then the last section is section 16, where I talk about some of the new features that were introduced in Java version 9. And by this time, you'll really have enough knowledge to appreciate something called the JShell. So we're going to learn everything there is to know about the JShell utility that was offered in Java version 9. So by the time you complete this section, you should pat yourself on the back, because up to this point, you would have learned a ton in this course. And you'll also get a certificate from Udemy that you can share on LinkedIn. And that's a great way to do networking. And I hope that you'd connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always open for questions as well as suggestions. You can reach me at imtiaz@jobreadyprogrammer.com. I'd like to thank you for your time, and I hope to see you in my course.